Now, what's up, everybody? You know, we are about to give you a little bit of what you just saw right now. But the difference is when you see it the next time, it's going to be with the rules of valor, which are right here to my left, your right. The topic is basically how to win at the elite level tournaments when you're in the sport of boxing. Amateur boxing is one of the things that catapult athletes to the highest level of their dreams, reaching that level of having that maximum cream and taking their families to the next entire status of what they're possibly capable of doing. And that's why you want to have all of the true eggs and pearls to help elevate what you know and how does this thing all work. And that's what we decided to do today. So check in, let me know where you're from. What we're going to do is get into some serious breakdown of what are the officials looking for, and at the same time, what should your skill set entail. So I know this is going to be fire. Looking forward to all of you jumping off with my guys, Will It Boxing out here in Canada, Hawkesbury, Canada. That is, they're kind of like still in the crossfire of the COVID, but they're finally getting an opportunity to start the gyms working outside. So special shouts out to them. If you're out there in Canada, Hawkesbury, Canada area, make sure you check out Will It Boxing Club. They're getting it popping and they're part of TSOB. Special shouts out to you, brother. What's up, DR Channel? Hi, man. What's good? All of you got to realize this, man. When it comes down to this sport, we got to make sure that our coaches are learning. And we've gotten so many good positive feedbacks from the page and the channels that people really appreciate learning the skills and having the drills. And what we're going to do is make sure you get it. But at the same time, we're going to make sure you have clarity on how that will catapult or kind of what we call tie into what you're teaching and how does that impact the athlete. So what we're going to do is go through each round, and each round is going to have a rule, because the first thing you got to establish in boxing is the rules. So what are the rules that's necessary? When it comes down to the officiating, the officials have their own mindset. And guess what? Who's in control over their mind? The actual athletes. So in this first 45-second clip, what you're going to see is the very first details on dictating what you need to know. So right over here, let me step back a little bit. Rule 1, establishing the tone. So what does that entail? Right here on my phone, I have the notes, and I actually will put those notes in the comment box below so you all can really have front and center, see what it looks like when you're truly going by the process. So right here, number 1, establishing who's setting the tone, a good jab, good ring generalship, and clean combinations. That's what you want to do when you first come out. So without hesitancy, once again, we'll go into round 1. The first 30 seconds of this, Let me see. It's got another check in. Good wisdom, brother. Yeah, absolutely. That's the only way you're going to get to the top. That's the only way you'll be able to pass anything down that's relevant. And that's what we're doing here. So what we're going to do is take you through the first 40 seconds. Once we go from that, we'll go into the next pause and then take you into the next sector. It'll be, each one will be 35 to 45 seconds. So enjoy and let's get it popping.
Get to him. Work that body.
Clean jab.
Okay, baby. Okay. Okay. Work that body. Work that body.
The clean shots.
Okay.
You got to find out who's dictating. He's dictating by being consistent.
Okay, baby.
And even when he's not throwing, he's feinting, he's doing something. And that's important in boxing. All right. Now that's the first one. All right. Now what you want to keep this in mind. The power of numbers. And the power of numbers is based upon this. If a guy is throwing punches at you, the judges see it. You have to let them know that that's not dictating what's going on. So therefore, you have to throw combinations, and your combinations have to be fluent. You have to throw a bevy of whatever he throws. If he takes off and he leads with the combination, you have to make sure that they only remember what you did. So therefore, you have to have a serious offensive prowess. And that's why we have created the Mid-Master 2 series. The Mid-Master 2 series shows you a lot of different combinations and counters. So when those guys get an opportunity and they lead, what you can do is you can counter with a more flamboyant kind of combination that sets the tone for what they remember. And it's not about what you did. It's about what they remember. Remember that. So next part of it is, as you saw the young man throwing the combinations. Let's see what you got here. How much weight? How much weight? What? Be a little more specific. Yes, we're going to save this live. It'll be up so you can find it, unless our director tells us that we got to take it down and only share it with the people in the school of boxing. So just understand the importance of this as I'm going to share it into the comment box on the thing. That second round, you'll see activity. Be more active and sharp. Don't underestimate what that means whenever you're in that round, because that's what you're about to see. You're about to see the level of activity being taken one step further than the other guy. And you have to be in control. And I love number 3. Number 3 is going to be great. But let's get into this next one, this second one. Activity. You have to be active. Tired or not, activity is king. You have to continuously outwork the other guy. If not, combinations flowing, hard combinations, and then counter strong. All right, good. Now that was showing you, it was actually part of another one. So apologize for that. I actually let the video run at the beginning and we kind of went past one of the points. So I rewound it. But biggest key is that you have to take away from this is Let me remove that. The biggest key that you want to take away from that is the level of activity that you must keep. And that's up to your conditioning. So this morning, I shared several conditioning programs that we use and the methods in which we train as fighters to keep our conditioning levels in a place that when you are in that battle, countering, having to throw more than what he's throwing and more significant, then you have the muscle memory and conditioning to do that. So let's let that be known. And at the end of this 5th round that I'm going to show you, you're going to see a nice pivot. And I'm going to share with you something that you can take away. So make sure you have your pen, make sure you have your pad. You may even want your credit card near you, because this right here is a priceless gem that I'm going to share with you within some of the tools and things that we use in the School of Boxing to prepare our guys who are going into the regionals. We already got past the test of the local Golden Gloves. Next is the regional. So these things are what we call priceless. All right. So let's take a look at this 3rd one. Ring generalship. Ring generalship is all about spacing and composure. So check this out. Let's get it in. Add to the stream. Work time. Look at this composure. Look at this ring. Look at the way we're dictating the range and composure. Throw the punches back to center. Defense, very obvious. Keeping the distance where he can fight best. You see that? Those are small. These are the moments that separate the two fighters' level of understanding what it takes to win the bout. That's what is being missed in the sport of boxing in the amateur levels. They don't realize how small of a difference it is between those who have the understanding of not just the skill, but what the judges are looking for. And not only that, but what's required for them to put out. And so therefore, that is ring generalship, knowing where to throw the punches, also being conscious of where the judges are and where they can see your shots clear, because the judges can't always see you because of where they're sitting. That's why when we go out, we teach the guys to bow to all 3 referees. Bow, 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 and remember where they are, because you have to make sure that their backs are they're facing your face so they can see you throw the punches. You have to give them the best angle. Don't get mad because the judges weren't able to score those beautiful shots that your fighter was delivering. The thing about it is this: they can't score what they don't see. No matter how clean it looked, they can't score if they don't see it actually land on the body, on the chin, on the face at all. So they can see your arms move, but if they don't see that white part, boom, land flush on it, it won't score. So that's why a lot of guys get mad, because they know that they outworked the guy, but they didn't get the decision. Remember that. All right. The number 4, rule number 4 in this is sharp punches and controlling the ring. After this, you got to see and pay attention to how clean this is. So let's take it into this next round and just notice the clean and effective punches and controlling. See, nice and clean.
Give him that work. Give him that work. Okay. Oh, yeah, Jay, he's sweet, Jay. Okay. Okay.
The round that you're looking at now is basically having to be first. Now watch everything he's doing. He's being first, constant, first on. Look, let me explain that part, because it won't make a lot of sense to you. You'll be thinking about what Floyd Mayweather is saying, like be first, just throw the punch first. No, you have to understand, being first isn't just being the first one to throw the punch. Being first is the first to prepare for what's about to happen. So if the guy's about to throw, you're first to change the direction and the angle of the move so he can't get off a good shot. Judges notice this guy got great footwork and ring awareness. Next, be first with your defensive prowess. Catch it with purpose and then counter. Boom. See, being first isn't always throw the first punch. Now, it can mean that, but it does not only mean that. It's about the first person that's out of the algorithm of movement in what you're going to do. He's going to be first to offset you when you throw your punch. If you throw it first, I'm going to offset it before you're able to throw it and deliver and land it. All right. So I'm first once again. So be first. Number 5. Number 6, fortitude. And that's what you're going to see right now. Let's check it out. Put it back up here in the thing. Enjoy it.
Work that body, work that body. Oh yeah, get to him, okay? Get to him.
This isn't the fortitude round. This is the be first round. And you notice the guy in the red is constantly being first with the punch. Constantly being first with the punch.
Okay, baby.
Here's fortitude. Judges look for the guy who can dig down in the fight, throw punches, and continue to fight back, even when things are tough. Constantly first,
Okay.
and dig down.
Okay.
Knuckle up,
Get to him, Jay.
body head, putting combinations together.
Okay, baby.
The blue corner's trying hard, trying to bring it on. But as you can see, he's digging down, and that judges want to see this kind of fighter. Grit, fortitude. They want to know you have that Sugar Ray Leonard fire inside. You're not just a guy who can dish it, but you can take it. Exhausted, conditioned properly. These are the things that judges are looking for. This is the simple characteristic that allows fighters to win Golden Gloves. This is the algorithm of a fighter. This is what we call boxing at the higher levels, allowing our athletes to get to a point where they understand. Now, what you're going to see now is we're going to go into this segment. And before I go, I'm going to lead into it. This segment is basically going to give you insight. So make sure you have your pen. Make sure you have your pad. Do not leave this post, because what you're about to learn is going to really catapult you into a position in the sport of boxing that will put you ahead of 73% of the people that are being taught. All right. This will be pearls that will never be forgotten and will always be utilized. All right. So let's go to this. Make sure you have your stuff and keep your credit card on hand, because you're going to want to get involved and vested in this sector. Enjoy it. Comment down below. During the tournaments, you got to have a different look. So your different tactics are very important each day. You're being recorded. These guys are recording your matches. So if you make it from the first round to the second round, they have your footage. So you have to fight different. You have to offer up different tactical methods in your offense, your defense, and I listed them here. The types of combos you throw. In the art of sparring, we give you a in-depth variation of punch techniques. Master Boxing offers up our course. The training course is TSOB, known as the School of Boxing. Inside of the School of Boxing is the deepest offensive arsenal and punch variations that there can ever be in any sport that requires striking. Offensive flow combinations, all different types of strikes, the variables and the variations of jabs alone separate us. You know exactly that we mean what we say, and we say what we mean when we talk about our offensive prowess is on an entirely different level. I have workbooks, punch combination training books. If I could reach it, I can reach it right now. Let me show you. These are just books on skills. They're falling in my lap, but I didn't have. What you guys are about to witness right now will create 1000% clarity as to why there's a separation in the sport of boxing between those who are elite and those who are just in the sport but not clear on what really separates the two. So take 1 second, and I'm going to play this for you again. And I want you to really take note how serious this difference is in the separation of our athletes and the people who are in the coaching business. And once again, do not take this lightly. I'm trying to make sure I got the right one for you. And once I got this up, you will never, ever think twice about what you're learning inside of the sport. Okay, that was it. I'm on the right one. Back up. Because I didn't think I was, but I never thought about it. I never took the time to say, what really makes, I guess sometimes when people, they don't know, they don't understand how far you are and how much you have separated yourself from the sport. This book alone is the 6-week training camp. And this guide right here just tells you, it's insane with just knowledge and knowledge and knowledge. And you just keep going. It's page after page, front and back, illustrations as well. And this book right here. This is mid training, but it's not typical mid training. We got mid training 1, 2, and 3 for that. Amateurs, beginners, personal trainers, elite level, when you transition into the pros, and then teaching you how to reaction drills. Like, these are combinations. So it's page after page, types of punches, the purpose of the punches, the purpose of the combinations, the impact of these combinations. I mean, this thing just goes on and on. This is a book, okay? This is the Bible. Nobody owns this but me, okay? And this right here is the periodic table of boxing. And it is the textbook for building the ultimate boxer athlete. These are the type things you get towards finishing in that sector of the program. And this is just the skill set and the combinations for the heavy bag, powerful punch variables. And then here's your foundation, your punching. So you're talking about hundreds of different kinds of punch combinations, hundreds of different types of punches. So collectively, you're talking thousands. All right. And we utilize so many different ones. And it's why it's so important to impact and embrace and divulge your muscle memory and take it to another level, which is ingraining the basic foundation of them and then continuing to move the needle. So our Mid-Master series is the beginning phases of all of the high level stuff. But then you continue to dive into the school of boxing is no joke, man. And I won't allow it to be looked at as anything other than the highest level of education that you can get in boxing. All right. And we're building your program so you'll have that and plus what you add and do your wrinkles to whatever you do. So you tell me, is it the deepest? All right. Because I had this when y'all started. There's no new books been done. This stuff is decades old. Now, of course, your objective is to figure out when you're going into tournaments and when you're going to use this with people, how do you dice this up? That's what we have it for. We have it diced up. This is the philosophy. This book here is the philosophy of how you do it all. It teaches you about each step, style, and how to counter each style. So, what kind of punches to throw, not just what punches to throw, what kind of combinations to throw, and the type of combinations to throw, not numerically, but the method in which you punch. It's so many different variations. And over these 35 years, 40 years, basically, of learning, that's how long my education was. That was apparent to me that there are different methods and methodology. And so that's in here as well. So it's so super, and you understand when to use it. So when you're going into the tournaments, you can now have clarity on how to use and what to use and how to show up for each one. Because people are recording your combinations, your defense, and your hand checking. So what if you recording our combination? We're going to use the same combination, but we're going to use a different method of punch system on it. So that's really unique, and that's a powerful thing. So on the post, I said in the copy, I said, people don't realize how much they don't know until they open up our encyclopedia and you realize you're now reading Chinese. It's an entire different level, and it's an entire different language, and you have to learn it all. And you get to learn it all in the School of Boxing, bar none. So, Glenn, you guys are going out to the regionals. It's important that you remember these things. Leading matters. And what I mean by leading matters is being first with whatever you're going to do. You don't have to punch first, but you have to lead first. So if you're going to go out there and go fisticuffs, your footwork, boom, it has to be visible to the naked eye that you're executing footwork exquisitely for these people who are watching, which are the judges, the only three people that matter. None of the screaming coaches, none of the screaming fans, and none of the screaming fighters. None of those people matter. What matters is the guys who are judging these fights, what they see. So if they see that dazzling, boom, immense execution of a footwork motion, which we have, those sidestep pivots, those executions of the Ray Robinson moves, the Ali circles, the back pedals. Make sure that these things are prevalent in your movement, because they can tell if you're just surviving. And so no matter what's going on, you got to show that this is a skill. I'm not just surviving, I'm executing. And that's how you get the score, the nod of the head. Next, your defense. When you show your defense, you wow, wow. That's why we have those shirts. Hands up high, elbows in tight, chin is tucked. Block, wow, wow, block with wow, with a defensive prowess, so they understand. And of course, when you throw your combinations, make sure the punches are turned, pop, because they score, you know, pop, pop, with the clean turnover of the shots. So that's what we're gonna do now. You're gonna see yourselves doing this drill in the ring where you're throwing flurries at your opponent or your partner, and your objective is to slip here, and try to get low and step around, practicing keeping your hands up high when you turn the corner, and at the same time, how to keep your head off the line without getting struck. So whether you step this way or you step this way, either way, or three, boom, keeping your head rubbernecking, but hands still in the defensive posture, finding your ways out of the corner and off the ropes. Let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna do about 8 rounds, quality work time. Now you've taken the time to look at a video that helps you get you into the situation that you will have to use a skill set. You've got that. Execution of your technique comes into play most, and that's kind of what it is, man. In these tournaments, it's powerful that you're fighting better fighters. You got to know something they don't. Try to wear red too. It's so many little things that you don't take into consideration when you're in this situation, but take these things into consideration that you must know how to operate inside of that heat, because you're going to have to do it the next day, and you got to be prepared to change up your punch variations. So fortunately, in the school of boxing, that's exactly what you'll get. You'll have that ability to learn and use these techniques, because we offer you the process and the skills. So you don't just have the skills, but you know the process of using and when to use it. And that's why you get your hands on these boxing Bibles. And that is the thing that I would say note during the tournaments. So we will do a definite brush up next week over the tournaments and do an in-house workshop inside of the School of Boxing. All right. That's how it goes down. We won't air this on the page, but only in the school will we put this, and it'll be a beautiful thing. And I want to see the rendition of the greater note takers. Take notes, have your pens and pads ready, because we're going to take this thing to the next level for you. We're going to show you how to bring home the gold. And the same thing goes for you, Christine. We've got an Olympic coach in the building, and we want to make sure that we get some gold. So we will be doing a specific workshop, and you'll get to see the things and how we pull out the notepad and the game planning when it comes down to the Olympic stuff. And you got to know the rules, man. It's so important.
The thing that I've learned from the School of Boxing, and really the main reason why I went there in the first place, was to learn about the sport aspect of boxing, the ring craft, what goes into developing solid professionals and amateurs inside of the ring, the sport, and the breakdown in which the way they do it at the School of Boxing is wonderful. It's given me everything that I've been looking for to really take my team to that next level, starting from ground one, from all the way from beginners to experienced boxers. You can take them through the process, trust the process, and you will find that you're going to go a long way because of the pedigree and the lineage and the tools that they provide you within the School of Boxing.